Well, hey there! Since I'm about a month into my bullet journal journey, I wanted to do a quick update video just to show y'all how I've got it working out. I apologize in advance for any background noise. Both of my boys are home and my husband's trying to keep them quiet, but they're 2 and 5, so we'll see if they're successful. So, the first thing you may notice if you watch my first video is that the rub-on stickers that I had from Recollections are all kinds of peeling off. I didn't seal them in any way, and this, I'm not careful with this. It goes in and out of my bag and gets all thrown around. So eventually I rubbed most of it off because it was bugging me. I have another set of them, so I'm thinking I may experiment with my other notebook and see if I can seal them on at all, because I do like the way they look with them, but not if they're going to keep peeling off. So we'll see if that works, but be warned if you're going to do it that you're probably going to need to seal it or else baby it. So on the inside, I still just have a Target notepad that I use repositionable glue on to get some glue in, to get some pages in there that I use in my grocery list. I also took sermon notes because I didn't have my usual notebook with me one week. And then I just have some sticky notes, again from Target, that if I need them, I can grab them just to have them in the front there. This is kind of my dashboard-like area, like I would use in a traveler's notebook or Filofax. So going in, I did add just some little embellishments and things that I found in a calendar from Paper Source that was on clearance. So I cut some of those out, as well as a little book that I found at Paper Source that was just full of these artsy inspirational sayings. I've got my index going still. It's just simple. I did switch to, instead of doing each week, doing an entire month, just so I'm not filling up my entire index. So let's dive into the actual meat of it. I'll flip through the beginning parts quickly. This is, since if you saw my first video, this will be a repeat. But I have my year at a glance. I have a little gratitude. So these aren't the big things like family and friends and church. These are just the little things that make me happy, like Duke football and hammocks and young adult fiction and little things like that. Just reminders to be grateful. Instead of doing, I know a lot of people do a gratitude journal or have something for every day, but I just wanted to have it all in one place that I can fill up. That's one of my first collections. And then we get into the weeklies and dailies. So this was the beginning of May, the first spread that I had. And I did a lot of research and looking around on Instagram and blogs and on Facebook groups to try and figure out before I got started what setup was going to work for me. So I've basically stayed with this weekly spread. And it's really, really works. So I've got all the days written out horizontally like that, or I guess vertically, and then horizontally goes across. So I have my appointments, anything time sensitive, and then I have my tasks that are day sensitive, tasks that need to be performed on that day. On the other side, I have a quote at the top, because I always like to have those little inspirational sayings. I have my meals planned out for the weeknights. And then I have other weekly and monthly tasks. So these are tasks that need to get done this week, but not necessarily on a certain day. And these are my monthly tasks that have to get done at some point in May for those. I have my tracker, and I have my things that are going on next week just to keep them, know what's on the horizon. And then I get into my dailies. This is my first spread of dailies, and I tried doing a different header every day and ended up really not liking the way it looked. So as you'll see in future weeks, I did something a little bit different. And I'll go into more depth with those briefly when we get to more recent ones. So I have a couple of other pages for my collections. First is my restorative activities. These are just coping skills. I'm not artistic at all. I don't generally doodle. So I decided to go a little bit out of my comfort zone to create this collection of just the things that bring me peace if I'm having any sort of, if I just need to relax, if I need to rest my soul, and things like just getting a cup of tea, getting outside, working out, playing guitar, meditating or yoga, just all these sorts of things that are my coping skills. On the next page, I have some of my favorite quotes from naturalists. I have John Moore and Emerson and Thoreau are some of the ones that I have there. Just some of my favorite quotes. Again, things that I like to have as reminders, especially if I'm feeling stressed out or something. My next spread is one on minimalism. This is still a work in progress, but I have the hierarchy of needs as well as some different quotes about minimalism. And then this one, live simply so that others may simply live. Minimalism is something that I'm striving for in all areas of my life, so as I continue to collect things, that will go in this collection. And then we get back into the weeklies. So this was another week in May. Again, the setup's basically the same. And this is another thing of dailies. And see, I changed it so I have all the same headers. And it just looks more cohesive. I just like it better this way. And then I get into my level 10 life spread. I've been really wanting to get focused, and as I'm coming out of a darker time for the past few months, really find concrete things that I'm working towards. And so the level 10 life, I heard about it from Boho Berry, of course, and really clicked with me as something that would be helpful for me. So I'm not going to go into too much in depth in this video. You can look it up on YouTube and see some others. I may do a video on it more in the future. But these are, I have my May levels right here, and then I have my top priorities in each category, as well as some different quotes scattered throughout, and then I have my 100 level 10 life goals. And so for each of the different areas, I have 10 goals. So I have all those color-coded, of course, because I'm me, and then some other quotes scattered throughout. So as part of, I have another Look Durham 1917 notebook that's my project notebook. And so that's where I did all my brainstorming for this, and that's where I'm doing a lot of the projects, because I'm kind of viewing each of these goals as a project. So that's where I'm working out a lot of that. But there are a couple of things that I want to be able to reference regularly. And one of those is my hiking, and one of my things is to hike it or go to the gym at least 2 times a week. And also I want to complete the Mountain to Sea Trail, one of the sections of it. So I have, this is just every 2 miles is a block up to 200. Again, I'm not artistic, so this was my attempt at being somewhat artistic with it. And I'm up to 54 miles just since the end of March. I don't get to go out very often just because I've got 2 young kids. And I hike some with them, but some of the longer treks, I have to keep it just to usually about 3 miles is the max, especially when I have my 2-year-old on my back, because he's about 35 pounds. And then I have all the different sections of this trek written down, and the mileage, and then I will highlight them when I've completed them and put the date. So that's this spread as well. Back into the weeklies, I think that was the last collection that I have so far in here. So another week in May, another spread of dailies, another week in May. I'm going to go into more depth with the upcoming week, I guess the current week from when you see this. Another spread of dailies. I'm filming this on Sunday, so this is my current week, and so that's where I have this bookmark, and the other one's at my level 10 life. And then this current week. And now, as you're seeing this, this is the next week that I've just been working on planning. I don't have a quote yet for it, but this is what's going on. And I wanted to go a little bit more in depth with the tracker just to show how I'm incorporating the level 10 life. So in addition to the things I've always tracked, like medication and packing my kids' lunch, this is the last week of school, so it'll be the last time this is on there, and whether my son feeds the goats. Some of my other level 10 life goals I've incorporated into this. So doing my daily lectionary readings for my spiritual life, journaling every day for my personal growth, reaching out to a friend in some way, either it's text or Facebook message or email, just making sure I'm reaching out to people every day, and that's part of the family and friends. And then making sure I get my 10,000 steps in, that's for health and fitness, as well as just general cleaning. So those are the things, another way that I'm incorporating level 10 life into my daily life. So we're blank after this, because then I'll get into my dailies for the next week. And then in the back here, I just have my mood tracking. And my last video was on this, and so you can check that out on my channel if you want to see more in depth as to how the system works. But I'm working from the back forward with that. So at the very back here, I just have another quote from my paper source stuff. and then some pictures of me and my youngest. And then I have all my forward planning in this 2-year planner. It's just a monthly planner I got at Target. So all of my future planning goes in here because I just couldn't get any of the other systems for a bullet journal to work for me. I tried them in when I was working things out in my project journal, and I just couldn't get it to work. And here is my beloved Sharpie pen that I use on everything now. So I'm still loving this system. I like how simple it is. Sometimes I miss the stickers and I feel kind of bad not using them now since I spent money on them. But it's just so much easier to I feel so much freer, I guess, that I can be flexible and I can just jot things down and not worry. I can still make it pretty just in how I write it and different colors. I mean, I don't use a lot of color. I don't use any color on my dailies. But just finding little ways to bring joy and light to it and not worrying about having to have a sticker down first or doing a theme or anything like that. So I'm loving it. I hope that this was an interesting video for you. I'm not going to do regular plan with me's or flip throughs or anything. But just since my first video was just an initial setup, I wanted to confirm that I'm still absolutely loving it. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for more. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye.